What's happening, MJ traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back in the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Friday. It is January 7th. And in today's video, just a short video, we're going to be discussing my top 5 cannabis holdings, both with regards to licensed producers and multi-state operators. So we're going to go over my top 5 picks north of the border and south of the border leading into U.S. legalization. These are going to be long-term holds. And also going to go over some polls that I ran on my community page on the Power Group YouTube channel, and also some polls that I ran on social media. And we'll discuss why I think that is important here in just a moment. But before we jump in, make sure to smash like, subscribe to the channel, tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. Let me know in the comments below if these are your top 5 holdings, or what are your top 5 holdings, both with respect to Canadian LPs and American MSOs. Just as a quick heads up, I'm going to be leaving for Orlando, Florida tonight, and I'm going to be there in the morning. So also going to be traveling to Miami, going to the North American Bitcoin Conference. So really looking forward to that. So you can expect some updates with regards to that as well. But jumping right into today's content. So I did a couple of polls. One poll was, when the crypto bull market ends, the cannabis bull market will begin. True or false? We've got 69% of people saying that is true. And I think that we could see the crypto market top out over the next few months. And then that's going to mark the beginning of the cannabis bull cycle. I think we're going to see potentially a buy the hype and sell the news type of scenario with U.S. legalization and safe banking and uplisting, that type of thing. Similar to what happened in Canada, I think we're going to see 2022 and 2023 mark the beginning of the cannabis bull cycle. And it's going to be a multi-year bull cycle. And then I think we're going to see a run up into that U.S. legalization hype. So that euphoria, that hype, and that sell the news type of event, which is going to be full-blown legalization, in my opinion, sometime in 2024, 2025. And we're going to see that blow off top. That's probably going to be the catalyst. That's what I'm expecting. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. That's just what I am expecting at the moment. And I also did a couple of polls. So which Canadian LP has attracted the most retail investor attention? We've got Hexo here leading by a large margin, just like the recreational market share. We've also got a poll here for which American MSO has attracted the most retail investor attention. We've got Curaleaf way in the lead here as well. And something I wanted to bring up, I manage a bunch of social media pages as well. So I manage a bunch of Hexo pages, Cannabis Biotech, some US MSO pages as well, Body and Mind, etc. A few others. Pretty busy managing a lot of the social media pages, and most often than not, I usually just focus on the Power Group private member community. So check out powergroup.ca if you want to become a private member in the Power Group community, where we 24 hours a day, you have 24/7 support. You can have access to dozens and dozens of Power Group members, and we share investment ideas in there. Not financial advisors. It's simply for entertainment purposes only, and ideas that you can bounce off of one and each other before you hit the buy and sell button. But essentially, I ran a couple of polls across all social media platforms, and I was under the impression that a lot of people only owned one particular MJ stock, so Hexo or Cannabis Biotech. So the reason why I made these posts and these polls was because I wanted to see how many people are actually invested in just one particular company. And I don't think that is a great, again, this isn't financial advice, it's for entertainment purposes only. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but personally, I'm just trying to convey the point and the message of having a diverse portfolio, not just in MJ, but some crypto exposure, some real estate exposure. Make sure you're hoarding a bunch of cash. That's what I'm doing as well. I'm also going to be looking at shorting the S&P 500 as a hedge against my MJ long positions. Right now, I have more cryptocurrency dollar-wise than I do any other investment. And then second is going to be MJ. I've been buying MJ in the bear market, for the brutal bear market that we've seen in the last 12 months or so. And I'm going to be looking to shift. I'm going to be taking about 80 to 90% of my profits out of crypto, and I'm going to be looking to rotate some of those profits into beaten down MJ. I'm going to take some more positions on MJ positions. I'm also going to be looking at a SPY, an S&P 500 long-term short position, and a short position on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the reason why I recommend having multiple cryptos is if one project, is taking longer than the rest of the market to see any potential gains, or one project like XRP, for example, in the crypto community sees an SEC lawsuit, you're not just, restricted to that one particular crypto. Same thing goes for stocks, same thing goes for real estate, right? If you can have multiple, the more hands you can have, the more hand you have in more, different types of asset classes and different opportunities within those asset classes, that's going to increase your opportunity for life-changing gains, right? And just opportunities that otherwise wouldn't have come your way. So you don't want to diversify. You don't want to stretch yourself too thin. But my point is just owning one MJ stock leading into the biggest U.S. legalization, the biggest catalyst of our lifetime, I think that is a huge mistake, especially just owning a particular LP. I think that, LPs and MSOs have a place in our portfolio, both from a retail, from, seed to sale, so retail to distributors to manufacturers, that type of thing. So I think there's a place for that in our portfolio, but I'm going to be focusing just on LPs and MSOs, and also going to touch on some ETFs as well. So like I said, a lot of people in these polls saying, no, I only own Hexo. 50 people said they only own Hexo. Some said they own Hexo and other Canadian companies. Some said they own Canadian and American companies and Hexo as well. And then if we move on to Cannara, again, a lot of people only own Love. A lot of people only own BAM. And I think that is not exactly the best strategy. Again, it's, everybody's strategy is different, but I think at least holding a few large cap and small cap LPs, a few large cap and small cap MSOs is going to go a long way. Also holding a few ETFs. So let's take a look at my top 5 picks for Canadian LPs. Coming in at number 1 and also number 1 in market share at the moment in terms of recreational sales is Hexo. I'm extremely bullish on Hexo. Just, basically par for the course. It's been absolutely destroyed over the last 12 months. It is at all-time lows, so it is a bit more beat up than most names. But as we know, usually the great companies get manipulated the most and see the most volatility. And I do think that Hexo offers the most upside potential and is the most exciting. If I could only pick one cannabis stock to own, both north and south of the border, it would be Hexo. And I really think that they're going to see a huge turnaround. Their yearly revenues are more than their market cap at the moment. Again, not financial advice. That's just my personal opinion. Second, we have Tilray. That's my second biggest holding in terms of LPs. Next is OGI coming in at third. Fourth is Auxly. We've seen a huge bounce in market share for Auxly, controlling about 6% of the Canadian market share now. Next is Cannara Biotech, so Love. And then next we have the HMMJ ETF. So I strongly recommend just putting some money into an ETF, letting that sit as well. Again, these are long-term holds. This isn't going to happen overnight. This is going to take weeks and months. We still have to confirm weekly uptrends and monthly uptrends to be absolutely convinced that the bear market bottom is set and that we can expect a new multi-year bull market. In my opinion, I think that the next bull run is going to make every other bull run look like peanuts, and we're going to see U.S. legalization hype. I think is going to absolutely just blow everybody out of the water. I think people have no idea what's coming. And the best is really yet to come. In terms of MSOs, my number 1 pick is Curaleaf. Coming in second is Cresco, so CL. Third, Verano Holdings, so VRNL. And fourth is BAM, Body and Mind. Fifth, CXXI, C21 Investments. And then MSOS for the ETF. Again, I hold more in MSOS than any of these other names. MSOS is my biggest holding in the US. And again, that's the ETF that tracks all of the major MSOs. And if you're wondering when cannabis is going to bottom out, if we just take a look at MSOS here on the monthly time frame, look what it's done with all of its gains from the past year, from March 2020. We had that huge run up, right? We had the all-time low there at $20, and we ran all the way up to just under $60, so $55, just under $56. So we almost 200% were the gains, and here we are down about 60% and pretty much gave that whole move back. So if you're wondering when we're going to see a bottom, we need to set these monthly higher lows. And I wonder if this pattern, what's next in this pattern? Do we just see another straight move up with the lack of resistance? But if you're wondering when we're going to see a bottom, we need to change weekly trends. We need to see a low, high, higher low, and higher high. Change those weekly trends. If you're a conservative type investor, you're waiting for those weekly uptrends to confirm. If you're extremely aggressive like myself, you're just dollar cost averaging and buying on each new low, potentially a psychological support level. And you're not too worried about these dips, right? And you're just excited to be able to load up at these extremely undervalued prices. If we look at the multiples of the US MSOs, we know that the financials and the fundamentals there are extremely strong, and we're seeing that discrepancy there. We're not seeing that reflected in the stock prices. So I think now's a really great time to load up on US MSOs leading into Safe Banking Act. And once all the institutions get involved, that is going to be huge. That's big money in the floodgates opening up and going to provide astronomical returns, in my opinion. Also, HMMJ, we're going to be looking for a weekly trend change. The EMA 12 and 26 have been rejecting the price. You can see here we have yet to regain EMA 26 on the weekly time frame since we lost it. And if we look at MSOS, same thing. ever since we lost the EMAs. We were rejecting at the EMAs, and we have yet to close a weekly candle above EMA 26. So going to be watching for a weekly close over that EMA 26 and weekly uptrends to be confirmed, to be confident that the bear market bottom is set. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel on your way out. Just as a reminder, I will be traveling for the month of January, going to be on vacation mode. So I'll be checking in here and there. Going to be going to Orlando, Florida first stop, and then heading down to Miami, taking a flight down there to join the Bitcoin North American Conference. Expect some updates on that shortly. Appreciate all of the support, and thank you for checking into today's video. Let me know in the comments below what your top 5 holdings are, and we'll see you on the next video.